When you know yourself, you become more stable in life. When you understand and know yourself, a lot of closed doors will be opened to you. You'll be able to achieve your dreams, your destiny. The path to wealth, the path to having everything you desire, begin with knowing of self. When you know yourself, you begin to understand what works for you and what don't. You begin to understand where to lay more emphasis in your life, in your doings, and where to lay less emphasis. When you understand yourself, you will hardly be moved by the opinion of others. When you know yourself, you will know where your strength lies. When you know yourself, you will know and understand the language of your she. When your she blinks, you already know what your she is talking about. When any part of your body signals, you already know the message. Unfortunately, people seek to know themselves the wrong way. People go to their fellow human being. People go to dibịa. People go to pastor. People go to religious leaders and make a demand. I want to know myself. Dibịa, do afa for me, let me know myself. Dibịa, gbaala m afa, nenere m ife, chekiere m ife. I want to know myself. This is the beginning of your own illusion. To know yourself is not to go to any man. Actually, no man in this world can help you or can know you better than you know yourself. Knowing yourself is not by going to afa. Ka agbaalo gị afa ma ọ bụ ka ebuoro gị amụma. Knowing of self is you attaining oneness and unity with yourself, your spirit, your inner being, that part of you that you don't see. Harmonizing the external with the internal, with the seen and the unseen. I made a comment on social media on Facebook. Someone wrote something, or someone said something. I commended him, and then I corrected him. He was saying something like, "Obo na your left hand and ask ashige. No be ego na abia." I told him, no. In my own case, when left hand scratches, it connotes another thing, different from what you said. And someone now asked me, how did you get to know about this? And I told him, I study myself. I know myself. If you want to know yourself, study yourself. Pay attention to yourself. Read yourself like a book. Study yourself from head to toe. Study your emotions. Master your feelings. Master your mind. You'll be able to understand what works for you and what don't work for you. It is when you know yourself that you will understand you will get to know which spirit, which deity you will make offering to, and it will boost your finance. Did you know? Among all the mmụọ so gị that you are attached to, o nwere nke na-alụ. Mmụọ be nna gị, mmụọ ikwu nne gị, mmụọ ikwu nna, mmụọ ikwu nne nne. O nwere mmụọ ị ga-agakwu jenye oke. Mmụọ ahụ agwọ gị ọrịa. You will have good health. O nwere mmụọ ị ga-aga nye oke. O binye gị uche. O mepe akọ na uche gị. You get to understand hidden secrets. Akọ na uche amamife. I nwere right judgment to things. Yes. O nwere mmụọ ị ga-aga chụnyere aja. O mepelu gị financial parts. O nwere mmụọ ị ga-aga chụnyere aja. Ọ bụrụ for protection. How will you know? Ọ bụrụ ọba ijekwu dibịa gbaala m afa ka mmalụ mmụọ mme achụnyere aja ka onye m ego. Ọ bụrụ ife a na-agbalụ gị n'afa. It is something you study yourself to find out. It is something you find out yourself. It is something you study yourself to know. Be intentional with whatever you do. Be intentional with anything in them and be observant. Whenever you take an action, observe to know what becomes the reaction of that action you have taken. That is ways to know yourself, master yourself. By such doing, it might go that now whenever I take this action, this is what becomes the reaction. This becomes the result. Whenever you take this action, this becomes the reaction. You master it. Onyeruaka, when I navigate your life the way you want it to go. Whenever you take an action, before you work those years, in chatted here, nsi ananya akanim nona adom tete. That I don't understand what it means. And we hear Osemo that nobody can interpret that for me. That what I have to do is to observe and know what becomes the outcome of that sign. That I should observe, pay attention. Can matter what eventually becomes the outcome of that sign. And eventually that was what I did. I paid attention. Eventually, I saw what became the outcome. Tomorrow now, the same sign, I already know what the outcome will be. I already know what the message is. Because I have studied myself, I have paid attention to myself. I didn't go to dibịa gbaala m afa n'anya na adọm ka mmadụ ife o menụ. You know the reason Ezinwa discourages you from frequenting afa? It is to build your mind, your consciousness. To help you build your self-consciousness. Whenever, if you are such a person that depends always on dibịa na-agbala m afa, dibịa ga-agba m ife m n'idere ema, dibịa ga-agba m ife n'idere ime, then otu a ka isi weta ya onwe gị to dibịa. You have rendered yourself incapable, incapacitated yourself. You have made yourself a slave to a fellow human being. That unless you go to a fellow human being to tell you, to talk, to tell you what to do, to give you information, you can't know what to do. And your she will accept that. Your she will be dormant. Because you have made it that no bustena akadibe ki gesi enweta ozi. n'aka chi gị. Your chi will become lazy. Onye kpe, chi ekpego. But once you make it that, let the message come to me. Let me observe and study myself. Chi m onwe ozi chọrọ izi m, zie m ya n'ahụ m, zie m ya n'ụzọ ga-edo m anya. Your chi will key into that frequency. Ị na-aghọta ihe m na-ekwu? Overdependence on dibịa for ịgba afa makes you lazy, spiritually and mentally. It makes you lazy. You can't study yourself. You can't train yourself. You can't, the potentials you have, you can't explore them. Because you always depend on someone else doing it for you. Uche ka na-ebunye gị. Onye na-amadị ife gacha ozi ma ọ ga-asị na Ezinwa na-eme nkọghịrị. Mana agbacha ọsọ agụọ maị. Onye nwere uche ga-aghọta ozi m. Ekenekwe ngọ. Inweta ozi a, pinye aka na share button. Tụsa anya bụ ozi as many times as possible. Cheta na echi bụ nkwọ. Anyị na-eme saraka na obi m ebe a. Every nkwọ, saraka anyị na-ehunye ndị mmiri. Ma ọ bụ mmụọ ọbụla ịchọ ka ehunyere ya. Be it chi gị, be it ndị ichie gị, be it agwụ gị, be it ndị otu gị, be it ndị mmiri gị, kelu mmụọ ị chọrọ imerụ saraka. It is part of the thing on na-ekwu. Be intentional with what you do. That you want to dash somebody pain. For example, ị chọrọ ịchụ aja with pain by agbamon that na aja is all about giving out giving something. I wrote it last night. Let's say you want to give out this pen to someone. For what intention? Kelo mmụọ ịkpara afa wele achụ that aja, wele enye that thing. It is that mmụọ that will help to facilitate that aja for it to bring you maximum result, coupled with your own intention. In taking part in our aja saraka, what are your intentions? That is why when you participate in the saraka, you will understand that I always demand for two things. Number one, give me your name. Number two, give me your petitions. Your petitions are your intention of being part of that saraka. I just want you to speak them or write them. Make them, set them in motion. Set your desires in motion and they can flow to you. Something that is not in motion cannot come to you. I keep saying it. That is why I say, if you want your desire to flow to you, you have to turn it to fluid. Fluid can flow. Hi. Which is in one but only few na agota. Somebody will still see this video. The next time, bam, inbox says in my bottom half and enemy if check if mentally laziness. Mental laziness. If you want to be part of the saraka, you chat me on WhatsApp 08032477868. Ezinwa na-agbakwa father mama. Man ihe na-agbaga ebo hanata aka so that you'll be able to train your mind. Hanata aka, reduce nata aka on depend. I don't want you to be dependent on me. Yes, I want to train soldiers that can stand on themselves spiritually. That is my mission here. Akajiọfọ Ezinwa Anaedo.